yeah, it's funny seeing all the people complain about Instagram being down that are influencers though. And it's like, all right, dude, just take your hard earned day off. Continue eating your $32 avocado toast and your $10 boba or whatever the hell it is. Go get your eyelashes filled or whatever. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes, 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 baby. How is everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. I am your host, all up in them cheeks, Joey. Some people call me Snoop, Juice, similar to Snoop D-O-G-G. He passed that name down to me. Welcome to another episode, dude. It's another week, and I feel great. Why? Well, things have been going pretty smoothly in my life. And yesterday was a great day because I did stand-up comedy again. Oh, my goodness. But we're going to talk about that later. This is another episode of the San Francisco Bay Area's most absurd podcast. Don't forget it. Do not forget. That's what we represent. All right? And if you don't believe me, well, let's just see what this fine gentleman has to say.
I'm a horny old man. I'm 61 years old. And you have some big motherfucking titties.
Oh, welcome to the show. Let's get ready to get turned up together, baby. Yep. I'm not going to lie, actually. Today was a little bit of a shitty day, and I'll explain why that is. Earlier, I was at work, and I happened to run into one of my coworkers. And in his work truck, I saw something that I'd never seen before. And it was a toddler's booster seat in the passenger of the work truck. So I said, that's cute. You usually drive with him around? And he goes, no, not usually. And then he said that he ran into my boss earlier. And my boss said, were you driving Fontana around? Oh my God, bro. And that is the conclusion of my employment at this fucking company. I swear to God, bro, when he said that, I started laughing so hard, and it was just like, I joke about my height all the time, obviously, and people might throw some comments and jokes at me too, but that has to have been the best fucking roast I've ever heard about my height. It was just so perfect. It was so perfect. And I texted my boss, and I was like, yo, I just got to let you know that was one of the most clever jokes about my height that anybody's ever said. And he texted back and he was like, well, that sucks. That was supposed to be behind your back. And I'm pissed, you know? Dude, it feels good to be back in the chair, in my throne, still clapping the cheeks while simultaneously still beating the meat with the left hand, of course, because like I said, when you're lonely, it feels like somebody else is there doing it for you. And if you don't believe me, bro, you just got to try it. Don't knock it till you try it, you know? Kind of like anal. So, guys, I gotta share something with you, and it really caught me off guard. So a couple days ago, I was, just chilling, minding my own business in my room, watching some television, and I got a DM on Instagram. And this was no ordinary DM. This wasn't a response to a story. This wasn't somebody asking me where I got an article of clothing, because that never happens because I wear shit from H&M. This was something that just took me by surprise, and it made me feel like I have status now. It made me feel like I have, what's the word? Fans. I'm just kidding. Dude, I got a DM from this guy. And his name is Sean. Shout out to Sean if you're listening. And bro, I'm not going to lie. When I got this DM, they come through the requests you know, in your DMs, how like if it's not somebody that you follow, they send a message that says requests, and then you click on it, and then it, you know, whatever. You can either decline or accept it. So I opened up the DM, and before I accepted it, I read it, and it just, here, let me read it to you because it was so funny how random it was. And it was like, here, let me read it, and then I'll explain how I really felt about it. Because it was so fucking funny. He goes, "What's up, dude? I'm a big fan. I'm bored, so I decided to make a compilation of your burps from the Juicebox podcast. Because I noticed you do it a lot." Crying, laughing face. And then I'm crying because I'm embarrassed. He goes, "Could you send me a good one so I can add it in?" Now, here's the thing. When I first read this message, I was a little skeptical because I don't know if this is like a new account or something, but he has no posts and he has like 3 followers. And that's no knock. Like, I don't, you know, maybe he's not on Instagram a lot, but he said that he found my podcast on YouTube and he just kind of ran with it. So let me just say this first. I fucking love that shit. You know what I mean? Just a random person that stumbled across my podcast and just stuck around for the ride. And dude, that's just amazing. Now that I got the nice shit out of the way. Dude, I didn't even know how to react at first. I was like, this is so oddly, weirdly funny. And it just caught me so off guard. And this fool was not kidding around, dude. He legit went through like a shit ton of my episodes from start to current and got clips of me burping, which is part of the reason why I'm just drinking water on this episode. And I'm a little bummed because I was going to go get a Red Bull. And then I was like, well, now I'm self-conscious. That's just another thing that I got to be self-conscious about. Good. Great. Grand, wonderful, dude. Oh my god. So I was like really excited to see this, and you know, because you know when I burp, I'll fucking belch, and then I go burp. Yep. I've never realized how often I do that because it just comes natural. Even when I'm not recording and I burp. I just do it. I don't know what it is. But I have the video right here. He sent it to me yesterday. And if you haven't seen it on my Instagram, well, I'm just going to fucking play it because I think it's so funny. I think it's just so cool that someone invested their time in making this compilation. Like, that's fucking awesome. Like, seriously, thank you, Sean. If you're listening, I really fucking appreciate it. And I hope you didn't take anything I said offensive. So here we go. We're going to watch the burp video. Oh, and you'll see in the end, I'm so glad that he added a couple of burps from other people and they weren't me. And I'm being hella hypocritical in one of them in the clip. So here we go. Here come the burps, bro.
Oh, I just burped.
Wait, I have to burp. Single moms, stay-at-home moms. Burp. Oh, fuck. Burp. Burp. Oh. Dude. Burp. 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 Excuse me. Oh, burp. Burp. God, dude, I'm fucking burping up a storm. Excuse me. Dude. Oh, my God. I'm drinking I should have waited and making my burps go out the fucking roof. Watch this until now. Oh, because the first time I started watching it, I was crying. Yeah. Burp. But her eyes are super far spread apart. Just keep going. Like, not like crazy. I keep burping. My favorite is when I say burp city. Fucking keep burping. Oh my God, I'm burping up a storm. Bro, I'm literally burping and it tastes like a chili dog. Oh God, I'm burping. Oh God, burp city. God, drinking on the podcast again. This is the first drink I've had on the podcast in a month, and you know, here come the burps already. I'm sorry. Burp. I say it. Fucking burp city. Hold on. Oh yeah, bitch. Let's go. Oh fuck, I'm burp city, dude. Let me start with my ratings for like dead White Claw. God, bro, when I drink, bro, I burp city. Burp. Yeah. Burp Mike. Oh fuck yeah! This is gonna just turn into the burp mic. Like, oh, now I'm burping a lot. My boy, my brethren, dude. Burp, burp. Burp. Don't like that at all.
This one.
DeBaby.
1,
Burp.
2,
Another burp.
3,
One more burp.
4.
Fourth burp.
God, man.
Bro, I'm Burp City right now.
Dude.
Burp, dude. There goes Matt. Matt
Are
again.
you still burping?
Nick.
Burp.
And fucking Jason, dude. I swear, bro, that had to have been one of the funniest fucking things ever. And it just, oh my God. It made me die. It made me freaking die, dude. So anyways, what else is going on in the world, man? Let's talk about Facebook and Instagram. Let me take a sip of my water first. Oh, yeah. Dude, it is so wild to me how fast people stormed the gates of Twitter when Instagram went down. Dude, Twitter, I can't go on Twitter when, like, Instagram goes down, there's an earthquake, you know, a new show comes out. Oh my God, man. And yesterday was just a disaster. My whole feed on Twitter, is Instagram down for anybody else? Do you not have work? It's 9:45 in the morning, dude. Go on TikTok. It's more entertaining, okay? And then on Twitter, I did see one chick complain. This is what the chick said. I was going to screen record the video, but I didn't. And I don't even know who it is, but she's like an influencer. Oh my God, dude. When Instagram went down, I just hope and pray to God that all the influencers are going to be okay. I mean, I'm sure they are now because Instagram's back up again, but man, I can only imagine the detrimental emotions that happened when their business went in the toilet, you know? So I saw a video of this girl, and she was on Twitter. She posted on Twitter, and she was just like, Instagram is ruining my business by not allowing me to post on there. And I'm like, dude, Instagram is your business. You know what I mean? Like, if Instagram wasn't a thing, then what? Then what? You're done. But it's fine because you have an OnlyFans and you make money on your tits. So what's the big deal here? You know? It's not, you know, oh, dude, it's just so fucking funny how people obsess over it. And, yeah, it's funny seeing all the people complain about Instagram being down that are influencers, though. And it's like, all right, dude, just take your hard-earned day off. Continue eating your $32 avocado toast and your $10 boba or whatever the hell it is. Go get your eyelashes filled or whatever. Whatever the hell they do. I don't know. Oh, my God. People obsess so much. And I think, like, a while ago, I was for sure that way, just in the terms of like, is Instagram down for anybody else? Yeah, I mean, I used to be like that for sure. But then I turned 17 and I started working, you know? But yeah, dude, it was so funny. But I think the funniest thing about like Facebook being down for the day is thinking about all the 50-plus-year-old people that can't recrop their same shitty photo as their profile picture. Dude, we all got an aunt that does that, right? Oh, it's the same terrible cropped photo as their profile picture, and then just like a week goes by, and then they recrop it, and they cut out like one of their chins. Dude. That's gotta be the funniest shit for me. Oh my God. And I got family members that do that shit, and it kills me, dude. It kills me. Oh my God. But anyways, back to the shit about it. I didn't watch the 60 minutes of that whole deal, but I saw like because 60 Minutes always puts out like a condensed version of the episode. So there's like a 13-minute video on YouTube that you can find if you're interested in it. But I think it's just crazy, man. Like, this lady who's a whistleblower that worked there, she started realizing that Facebook is just a shitty platform that doesn't really care about social construct, and like they don't care about like all the bad shit that they're causing due to the algorithms that are started and how the algorithms evolved over time. Because back in the day, right, before algorithms were, that's one word that I hate is algorithms, because I feel like it's so overused. It's like when people say I hate the word moist. No, you don't, dude. You don't hate. What do you hate about it? You're just like a fucking guy that started saying he doesn't like Nickelback, dude. You're hopping on a bandwagon and it doesn't matter that much, okay? So this lady comes on to 60 Minutes pretty much to explain like what their agenda is at Facebook, and how literally the algorithms now are specifically designed to we all know, like on TikTok, right? The algorithm is set to fill your feed with stuff that you like videos and shit that you like, and then you continue to see that shit. Well, Facebook is like more engagement based. So if you're like a Democrat and you see a Republican post something about the fucking COVID vaccine or whatever, Donald Trump, whatever, there's going to be that Democrat that gets extremely pissed, and they go comment, "Go burn in hell, you fucker," or whatever, and they probably got like blue hair and shit. And now that Democrat, and I'm using that as an example, okay, so don't fucking chastise me for it. But now that person commented on that Republican's post, now they're going to start seeing more shit that makes them more angry and wants to like just stir up all this violence and shit on the internet. And that's pretty much what she was saying. And she's saying that Facebook only cares to profit, and they profit by all the traffic that's brought to the platform via all of that negative energy and that negative activity within posts and the whole shit. So she's saying that because all of the stirring the pot between people, they get more traction, which means that they can get more ads, and people will start seeing more ads, and that's pretty much how like Facebook gets all their money and shit. And they care about that more than the public, basically, the safety of the public and how people communicate with each other. Because it fucking started off as let's reconnect, dude. Let's rekindle. We were high school sweethearts, and then we broke up, and now we're 30 years down the line. Let's fucking hook up again, bro. You know what I mean? That's what it was meant for. And now it's just a fucking cesspool of cousin fuckers and, you know, purple-haired, gauged ears, and people that act like animals. That's what it's filled with, dude. I think it's funny because I texted my dad. I don't know if I want to, whatever. I don't know, maybe he'll yell at me later. I texted my dad how's work yesterday, and he works at Facebook, so it was a very sarcastic text on my part. And what did this guy say? It was funny. I wrote a joke about it, but I lied about what his response was. But he just said, "It was a long day, but tomorrow's another day." And you know what? That's a good attitude to have when you're working for a company that's in the ringer right now, you know? Dude, yeah, I can't say. I wrote a joke, and it was just a stupid joke. It's so simple. But it's just Facebook shut down because we finally found out that Mark Zuckerberg fucks kids. And look, I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I really wouldn't. And you know, he's just another one of those extremely powerful men. I wouldn't even consider that fool a man. He's like a weird specimen, you know? He's just a weird looking guy. What's that video of him in like, what is he, like the Supreme Court? And he's sipping water, but he's sipping the water in such a weird way. I have a cup right here. I'm going to pour this into the cup. And like every couple seconds, he goes like this. I wouldn't even consider that a droplet of water. I gotta finish this now. Anyway, that guy's a fucking dweeb, you know? Like, no, you know what a good adjective or name for Mark Zuckerberg is? It's twerp. Yeah, whatever. He's got a shit ton of money. He created one of the biggest social media platforms, or probably definitely the biggest. MySpace is a close second, but he created the biggest platform. Yeah, whatever. He's a fucking twerp, dude. He has such a shitty haircut. What is that hairline? And those videos of him barbecuing with friends, oh, they're so awkward, dude. Guess that's what you got to be a fucking billionaire. Dude, I didn't know that Facebook is worth $1 trillion. I mean, I guess it's not hard to believe, but like, dude, I cannot figure out where I want this fucking microphone. This is pissing me off. I'm just like fidgeting. I'm uncomfortable. But yeah, dude, I don't know. My TikTok algorithm is something else though, you know? Like, bruh, I need to chill because, you know, I'm with somebody now. And truth be told, man, there's a lot of girls shaking their ass on my TikTok, and that's kind of sketch. So I don't go on TikTok when I hang out with her. I stay off of TikTok purposefully. Is that a word? I don't know. But, you know, yeah, bro, my TikTok's crazy. My TikTok's like that video that we just watched in the beginning. The guy, whatever he said. And then it goes from that to a girl that like looks ugly, but then it's like one of those transitions. So then she shows that she has ginormous tits. And then I'm like, okay, I can't see these anymore, so I cannot like it. So I don't like them anymore. I can't comment what up anymore because that would be disrespectful, right? So I don't do that shit. Occasionally I'll stumble across one and like just by muscle memory, I click the like button and then I scroll so that they're not fully gone, right? Because some of them are kind of funny. So I share them on here sometimes. But anyways. Yeah, that was a fiasco. And bro, like I think I said this already. I don't necessarily care when Instagram goes down. I definitely do not give a fuck about Facebook. Holy shit. And yeah, Facebook runs Instagram, fine, whatever. But like, dude, if you still use Facebook above the age of like 22, why? We want to hang out with senior citizens, dude? Ugh. Like, you go on Facebook and it's like a guy. It's got like glasses and a weird looking beard and he's like showing us his brand new lawnmower. Like, right on, dude. That's great. You go on Instagram, you see a chick in like this brand new bikini and it's fucking lit. Go to Instagram. What are you doing on Facebook? Here's one thing too, is that I don't understand why I still get friend requests on Facebook by people that I don't even know. And then you occasionally will get like the Punjabi wants to be your friend on Facebook. Who the fuck is Punjabi, dude? Huh? No, bro. Stay in your country, dude. What are you talking about? That's racist. I'm just kidding, bro. I don't mean that. But yeah, you know, like fucking what else is shitty about Facebook? It's just shitty. It's so shitty because like, dude, you go on Facebook and the first like literally 20 posts you see are about COVID and it's just dog shit, and then in between each of those COVID posts there's a fucking dumbass that's giving their stupid ass opinion, right? Kind of like me, but I don't go on Facebook, so I don't count. And yeah, man, I mean, it's just a fucking shit show. So whatever, I'm over it. Instagram's back now, doesn't really matter. But then also, like, if you this is what I was thinking about. This is what I was talking about earlier with the Instagram influencers. Like, let's just put it this way, right? For the girl that posted that video, if she really felt that Instagram was ruining her business, then shouldn't she take that as a sign to not rely on a social media platform that is not infinite? It is quite finite, actually. So if there's a possibility of Instagram going down forever, which probably won't be the case, but if it did, and your business is ran solely through Instagram, wouldn't you want to, like, I don't know, start your own website or something, or your own deal to where you can make sure that you're good? I mean, that's got to be a little eye-opening, right? I'm not an entrepreneur, but I know that if I was, and a lot of my market was on Instagram, then yeah, I would probably take that as a sign to probably have a backup plan, you know? It's all about redundancy. You hear me, IG influencers? It's all about redundancy. Don't rely on shit. Don't rely on anybody. That's why I do this fucking podcast by myself, because nobody's reliable. Ever. It's all you. It is only you. Follow your dreams. What's that fucking stupid ass quote? Don't let your I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. Oh, but yeah, what I wanted to say was, dude, you can't not go on fucking Twitter when Instagram's down, because everyone's just raving about shit. And you cannot go on there, especially when a new show comes out. Okay, I'm heated. I am furious. Okay. Now, look, I don't know. I don't think anybody's really heard of this show that I watched. I'm pretty sure it just came out, and no one's like talking about it yet. So I want to be the first one to talk about it. It's this game, or this show called Squid Game. And it's you guys will probably like it. Yeah. I think you guys will like it. It's pretty. I feel like it's gonna get pretty popular. You know, like there's so much potential for it to just skyrocket through the ratings. You know what I mean? And it's such a good show, dude. I'm surprised people aren't talking about it enough. Hey, no, for real though. Obviously, I'm fucking around. But, dude, before I started watching the show, I went on Twitter. This was probably like, what was this, last week? I went on Twitter, and I'm starting to hear about this show, Squid Game. And I'm like, oh, this looks kind of cool. And I've seen it on my feed, on my Netflix. And I was like, maybe I'll start it soon. And then I go on Twitter. Oh, spoiler? Oh, you're going to post shit that gives shit away in the show? Hey, you fucking suck, dude. Okay? Dude, I don't know why people feel so obligated to. I want to be the first one to know what happens, and I want to be the first one to let people know that I know what's going to happen. You are shitty, okay? The worst people ever. There should be a policy on Twitter. Netflix and Twitter should have this fucking orgy with each other. Just two people in the orgy. Netflix and Twitter should have consensual intercourse and come up with a policy that Netflix says, hey, when we post a show or a show releases and people go on Twitter and spoil shit, we get to sue them. It's in the terms and conditions. Clearly they read it. So they're fucked. And look, man, that would be great, because then nobody would spoil anything. Dude, I wouldn't be talking shit about it right now. Would not. Nope. 2-week period after the show is released. 2 weeks after a show is released, then you talk about it. Then you share what your favorite part was. Before I even started watching it, I already knew who the fuck died. I'm pissed. Mad. Oh my God. People suck. And then I was on TikTok too, and I saw a video of this girl. There's like a trend going on with like this stupid ass song, and this like girl posted a video of her. The camera zooms in on her, and then it shows a character on the screen, and it's the old man. And she was like, I'm in love with the old man. It's like, all right, bitch, clearly you didn't finish the show. Quit spoiling shit. You know what I mean? And I just spoiled it, but whatever. I didn't really, because I did not see that ending coming. And dude, that show, now let's fucking talk about Korean entertainment and Japanese entertainment, because bro, I don't know, I never got to let out. You know what I mean? Like, I dated a girl that showed me a Korean horror movie, and it was fucking hella good. It was fire. And you know me, I love horror shit. It's spooky season. What's good? You know what I mean? So, she showed me this movie, and it was amazing. It was just outstanding. The acting, some of the acting actually is a little corny, but more or less, you know, it's pretty damn good. So after I watched that Korean horror movie, I never like watched anything else because I didn't know where to start. So then I start watching Squid Game, and I already watched shows with subtitles, but I didn't know that it was a Korean show. I just had no fucking idea. So then I start watching, and it starts talking in Korean, and then I'm like, oh, okay, this is just like the intro thing? Hell no, it wasn't. Nope. We're going all the way, baby. So then I'm like, all right, fucking whatever. And like, end of second episode, I'm burp. God damn it, man. There's a fucking burp. God, I was going to try and go the whole episode without it. Fuck me. Now I need water. So I get to the end of episode 2, and I'm like, oh my God, I am hooked. Finished that show in 2 days. And dude, I think, if you haven't seen it yet, bro, it's such a good, like, it's so well written. You know, like, just the idea of this show. Like, yeah, the game shit is all cool and everything, but it really shows humanity and the humanity of the less fortunate, which is pretty wild. And obviously it's a show, and that's so unlikely that would actually happen in real life, but that's what's cool about it. It's like the fantasy and like the imagination of the dude that wrote it. And I say dude because I know that for a fact. And he tried to pitch this show like 10 years ago, and it never got picked up. And I heard that's because Hunger Games came out around that same time, and they weren't going to do that shit. So anyways, it's cool how like they show the desperation for people that are less fortunate. And it really shows what money will do for people to decide what they're going to do and how they're going to participate in the game. Or it basically, like, what are people willing to do for money, right? Which is wild. Kind of parallel to OnlyFans. Yeah. So, if you haven't seen the show, it's fucking amazing. And if you want me to give you, like, a breakdown without any spoilers, basically what it is it's based out of South Korea, right? Because it's not North Korea. For sure not. And it is a game show, but it starts off with, like, this dude who's, you know, poor, and he doesn't have a lot of money, and he has, like, a gambling addiction. And it's just all downhill, right? He doesn't have his daughter. His daughter lives with the mom because he can't be a good father to her. And then he meets this guy who explains to him, if you win this game with me right now, I will give you a shit ton of money. So after a while, the guy kind of earns the main character's trust. And then he gives him a card, and the card, find out later that it's a game with like almost 500 people. And these are like kid games. So they go, you know, they're put to sleep, so they don't know where they are. They wake up in like this big hall with like bunk beds and shit for everybody. It's like almost 500 people. And then what happens is there's games that they play, and every time you either lose or you don't follow the right directions, boom, your life's over. And that's not a spoiler. I think that's in the trailer. So if you think that's a spoiler, go suck my ass. And I think I don't want to give away what happens because I thought the show was going to end early, like when everybody, I'm not going to say too much, but if you haven't watched it, just go fucking watch it because I got to say, I've been sleeping on Korean entertainment and bro, I fucked up, man. I could have been so much happier like 6 months ago if I had other shit to watch and that other shit being Korean entertainment. And then here's the thing. Squid Game was cool, and Squid Game was a cool, different, really good show. However, there is a better show. And I feel like a lot of people don't know about it because I ain't heard one thing about it since I saw it on Netflix. Okay? So after I watched Squid Game, I'm like, oh my God, I need to watch other shit that is similar to this. Okay. Now, earlier when I was joking about saying, I'm going to put you guys onto a show, it's called Squid Game, right? I was fucking kidding. But this one is called Alice in Borderland. And this is a Japanese show. And it's the same, they're speaking in Korean, you got English subtitles. And by the way, dude, I hope to God that people don't watch foreign shows, but the voice is in English and the lips don't match the fucking words. Like I hate that shit. If you watch shit like that, bro, get out of my ears and my face, dude. It's so shitty. It's so distracting too. Like, who wants to watch? Anyways, whatever. So you got to watch it with the natural language and the English subtitles because that's how it's meant to be watched. Not with fucking lips moving a certain way and then it's an English accent. What are you talking about, dude? No. You want to hear them, right? When they talk like samurais. So anyways, Alice in Borderland came out almost, I think, like at the beginning of 2021, I think. I'm pretty sure. And look, man. That one chick in Squid Game, yeah, she was cute for sure, right? If you're into that. And clearly, I'm into that. But bro, the chicks in Alice in Borderland, oh man, dude. I was bricked up the entire time. You know what I mean? Well, after they show them. But that show is so much, like the games in Squid Game are cool, but the games in Alice in Borderland are way more intense and the acting so much better and just like really comparing the two, I think by like the second episode I already liked it better than Squid Game. The Squid Game, like it took a while to kind of like build up and shit, and like the Alice in Borderland is so much sicker and you guys just need to watch it. And I know I say all the time, when people tell me to watch shit, I do not want to watch shit, but I'm not telling you directly. I'm only telling you if you're listening to this, okay? There's a difference. So, I'm not going to give a breakdown of what Alice in Borderland is, but you got to just trust my word when I say that show fucking rocked my socks off, okay? Dude. And let me also just say, this might be vulgar, but that's what this podcast is. It's absurd. After every episode of Alice in Borderland, I had to refrain and restrain myself from grabbing the lotion. You picking up what I'm putting down, dude? Yeah. I had to stop myself from beating off after every episode. Holy shit, dude. I'm serious, too. I'm not even joking right now. I don't know what it is, man. I think the creativity of those bands, I was looking at something that has music on it. The creativity of those shows is pretty wild, like actually. And I here's one thing that I won't watch though. I'm not gonna fucking sit and watch cartoons, anime. Are you serious? No. And people try to put me onto anime. I'm like, listen, partner, I don't wanna. It's just, hey, I am almost 30, And if you like it, that's dope. That is great. You like what you like. That's fine. I'm almost 30. Okay? I got 5 more years, but I consider that almost. I'm turning 26 this year. I might as well be 30, you know? I can feel it in my back. But I don't need to watch anime. That portion of my life was the first quarter of my life. And I'm well past that. Okay? I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, you don't consider that fucking... Dude, is there anything worse than like when people ask you if you watch anime and you were like, oh, well, when I was a kid, I watched like Dragon Ball Z or Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're like, ugh. Like, I'm sorry. You didn't say if I watched the current shit. That's not what you asked me. You asked me if I watch it. I said, no, this is when I watched it, and that's what I watched. And by definition, that's pretty much what it is. And guess what? It was still shitty back then, too, so why would I want to watch shitty now? Huh? No. I'm 25, going on 26. I'm basically 30. I do not need to watch anime. So let's get that out of the way, all right? Fucking shit. Tired of being trying to be convinced. Just tired of it. What else, bro? Give me some water, bro. Give me some water. Some water. Hey, but in all seriousness, though, when a new show comes out, like Squid Game, don't fucking go on Twitter the day you started watching it and the day that it was released and tell everyone what happened. You ruined it for a shit ton of people. And guess what? I'm one of them. Now I'm heated. I had to watch the show after finding out like 5 things that were pretty crucial to know. Imagine having to watch a show like that. My life is difficult now. Or it was at least. Talk about first world problems, bro. I'm going to say this one last time. I'm going to repeat myself because I like to do that a lot. Twitter and Netflix, if you guys are listening to this, you guys need to fornicate a new policy and update your terms and conditions. If Netflix releases a show, people cannot talk about that show on Twitter for 2 weeks. Otherwise, they go to jail. Okay? Dude. Fucking sick of people ruining shows. God, man. All right, well. Guess we could talk about yesterday. I went and did stand-up. That was something. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle fucking released his last Netflix special, which is sad, but you know he's not going to be done doing comedy for sure. Rip my jewel. So I want to talk about... I'm done with my rant mode. I'm done with it. I want to talk about stand-up, and I went and did stand-up last night, but I want to talk about how disappointed in myself that I am. And it's been really kicking me in the dick for about a year because, truth be told, I haven't done stand-up in almost a year. Was the last time I did it. And that's kind of the entire reason why I started the podcast, was because I wanted to start doing stand-up, and I wanted people to like my stand-up, and which would make them maybe perhaps come listen to the podcast. And then I got so invested in the podcast that it just reversed. So I kind of stopped what I thought my passion was, and then kind of fell into this, which I'm also passionate about. It's weird. So let's talk about a year ago. Let's talk about when I started stand-up. And I know I've talked about it before, but if you don't know anything about it, let me just give you a run-through because it's not a long story. So, like maybe last episode, I talked about when I started, and then so I did my first open mic in 2019, and then I didn't do it for 9 months for whatever reason. And I think that's also every decision that I made regarding stand-up has been extremely dumb. And that's all just because I've been a pussy about it. And I'm not even afraid to admit it. I've just been a fucking little bitch about going to do stand-up. And I'm just going to, I'll just fucking say it, man. It's for sure an ego thing. Like, it for sure is. And that's why I'm so pissed at myself about it. Because I've just been wasting so much time. Like, so much time. Anyways, so, yeah, I did my first open mic in 2019, December. And then the next time I did it was in September 2020, after COVID, like, started to kind of, you know, like March through August or March through like July were just like the height of COVID. So nobody was doing anything. So then I found an open mic, did it. And that open mic went so well for the second time. And my first time wasn't even that bad, but the second time it was fucking lit, dude. And I know that I've preached on this podcast about if you say you're going to do something, then you have to fucking do it. And I do mean that. I mean that with, like, you know, like I said, shit that you're passionate about, which is, I still hold truth to that because I still do the podcast. And I know I've taken some weeks off in the past, but that's just adulting. But I do mean that because obviously if I didn't mean that, I would not be doing this podcast anymore. So when it comes to stand-up comedy, which is what I thought I was passionate about, by the way, I still am. It's just I need to get past like this mental barrier that I have because I'm so like over analyzing and super critical about my own shit on stage and like how I deliver things and whatever. So it's just been a block and it's been pretty fucking lame, actually. So I did that one in September, and then I did another one a couple weeks after that at the same place, and that show I bombed for sure. It was not a good set. And one of the things that I've noticed about open mics, and I've also heard Joe Rogan talk about this, and by the way, my favorite episodes of Rogan are the ones where he's with comedians because they talk about comedy. When I hear comedians talk about comedy, it's like sports people listening to people talk about sports. You know, like they're super invested in it and it's interesting to them. I couldn't give two fucks about sports at all. Don't care. Oh, who won the Super Bowl? Doesn't matter. But when people talk about comedy, I fucking light up, dude. Like, I just love hearing about that shit. And not about like what they just told on stage or whatever. I love hearing about their stories of how they started. And I definitely, one of the first reasons why I ended up pulling the trigger on doing my first stand-up was that Joe Rogan was talking to Donnell Rawlings, and he said, at first, you're going to just eat shit. Like, you're just going to eat shit. And by the way, if you don't like this, what I'm talking about right now, or if it's boring to you, sorry, but you can turn it off because this is what I'm going to be talking about for the rest of the episode. Like I said, this is all a result of me wanting to start comedy. So I'm going to talk about it, and I'm also going to talk about it because guess what? It's my fucking podcast, so you can go fuck yourself. So they were talking on the podcast, and they were saying how it's absolutely going to happen that you are going to eat a bag of dicks when you start doing stand-up. And truth be told, I've been fortunate enough to not necessarily feel like I'm eating dicks or just really bombing, but it's more of like I have a sense and I can tell with my ears that people aren't laughing. So I don't know, that third time I went to this place, or the third time I ever did stand-up, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. But what I meant to say earlier is that one thing that I heard on the podcast was that for open mics, it's such a tough audience because it's more likely that the people that are there are going to be doing comedy as well. And there is such a difference in how people perceive jokes when you're either a comic or you're a comic that hasn't gone up yet because you're still thinking about your material versus a regular patron or just somebody who's just there to see comedy who has no intention or no desire to do comedy. Those two people view shit very differently. And I'll explain how I experienced that firsthand yesterday when I did stand up. So that's always something. And they also mentioned too that within open mics, there's a bunch of snakes in open mics, which is why when I go, I don't really talk to anybody ever. I just go to do my thing. I just sit. I'll get a beer if there's beer or whatever, and I'll just sit on my own. If somebody like talks to me, and by the way, I've talked to people at open mics that have been really nice, and they've been super cool, and whatever. But more or less, I go there to just do my thing. I do not like to talk before I go up. I just absolutely do not like to talk. And I should, because that would kind of distract me from the nerves, but I'm so worried that if I'm having a conversation with somebody, my concentration gets fucked up. Because before I go up, I like to go through my notes and make sure I have everything listed and memorized, or my talking points memorized at least. So did that set, and it didn't go well. Just, nobody laughed, and it's just my fucking ego that's getting checked, which is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be humbled when you go on and you do this fucking venture in stand-up comedy. Like, that's going to happen. And so the next open mic that I did for my friend Wyatt. He's been on the podcast. He's a DJ. Shout out Wyatt. Wild Renaissance. He had a Halloween party that was last year, 2020, and he was all set up to do his DJ thing for this party. He was live streaming it. Oh my God. And he offered me a 5-minute spot to do comedy before the show. Now, there's a couple things with that. One, I've heard comics say you should never turn down a gig. You should never turn down a gig. And two, I've also heard people say you should never do comedy where comedy isn't wanted or made aware to people what that's going to be. And yeah, it all makes sense, and I would never do that again, looking back now. Because when I went up, first of all, and look, the way I do comedy is I write out a whole set, and I try to memorize, not word for word, but I try to memorize the order of my jokes. And it's very easy to lose your concentration, for me at least, because at this party, I started the party off basically. So people were coming into the party, and I'm like worried about who's coming in, and I'm worried about people not paying attention, because when your friends get to a party, you're like, hey, what's up, dude? How you doing? Yeah. So that shit was going on, and I'm like 30 seconds in, so I'm like, oh, look there's fucking somebody walking in, great. And then I'm like slowly losing my train of thought, and then one thing that really fucking caught me off guard was the light. There was a bright ass light just beaming on me, and I couldn't see anybody. And that really caught me off guard. So, and it made me like shit ton more nervous. So I ended up just walking off after like a minute and a half of whatever I said. And while I was up there, yeah, I got like a laugh. Actually, my first joke was kind of ruthless to the girls there. But yeah, it didn't go well. And as it probably shouldn't have, Like, you should not you, if you ever do comedy and you want to just do a gig wherever you can, then great, but I will never do an open mic at a Halloween party where people don't know that that's going to happen. And don't get me wrong, there were definitely people that were paying attention, for sure, but there was more shit going on that people weren't paying attention, and it was just like screwing me up like crazy. So that and there's a difference between the open mics that I've done and doing it at that party. Now the difference is everyone at that party knew who I was, and that scared the shit out of me, because here I am, I have a podcast and I talk a lot of shit, and it's clear now for people, at least I would think that it's clear for people to know that I would like to do something with stand-up comedy. And their first time seeing me do it, and I just eat shit because I was just freaking out up there. I was like, I can't do this. I got to get off. I voiced that out loud. And I definitely shouldn't have said that, but that's just how I felt. And I was like, whatever. This is embarrassing as fuck. That was when I really didn't know if I wanted to continue doing stand-up. Because that really, just the embarrassment. And it's not even that, and I don't even want to say it as in, everyone gave me shit after that, because no one did. And there's probably a couple people that talk shit about it, but, I mean, I don't give a fuck, because it would be funny to see them try and do this shit too, and I know they can't. But there were so many people, or a handful of people at least, that were, really nice about it. And they kind of got it, and they understood. And, I remember I went up to my friends that were there, and I was like, yeah, I choked. And there was a girl that was standing right there, and she was like, I choke on things too. I was like, what? Hey, whoa, dude, you good? I mean, what's happening? Should we leave or what? And then, yeah, and then I talked to somebody else that does performances and shit, and I was like, yeah, it's not the right setting, and it's not, whatever. Shit happens, And honestly, looking back now, that is for sure the reason why I haven't done it in a year. And it's crazy to think that it's been a year already, dude. That's wild. But yeah, that's what happened. It was such a extremely discouraging moment. And like I said, it's not like I know anybody talks shit about it, but it's it sucks when you are in that position and you want to kind of prove to yourself that, you can be whatever it is. You can tell jokes on stage and you can get laughter. And then you just turn around and do the exact opposite. It was a really shitty feeling. And it was really fucking embarrassing. But like I said, that's what you sign up for, really. And I don't think that I realized that until very recently. So it's been a handful of months, dude. It's been a handful of months. And I always knew at the back of my brain that, yeah, you're obviously not going to slam dunk every set that you do. But I really wasn't expecting me to bomb the worst at a party that I knew everybody at. And it's not even that I bombed. I shouldn't say that. It's that I choked on my own material. I choked and I was too distracted and I wasn't focused. And it was just shitty, man. It was just the most discouraging thing I've ever done. And that's why I stopped. Because dude, 2 months ago, I went back to the place in San Francisco that I did comedy at. And I went there. I drove all the way up there and I fucking had my material ready to go. And I signed up for the open mic. And 2 people before I was supposed to go up, I got up and I fucking left. And I just came back home. I don't know. It was just the embarrassment. And I don't even know fucking why, dude. Because, look, I don't want to sit here and talk shit. But there are people that go to open mics and they just get up there and they say the first thing that comes to their head. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because that's kind of what I do on the podcast sometimes. But I actually care about the craft and I care about the artistic value in writing a joke. And I have I think I have a couple good ones, and I did some of them yesterday and they got a good response. But whenever I go to an open mic, so let's go back to that one time when I left before I was supposed to go up. I went up there and I drove up there And then the show starts and people start going up and doing open mics, and not even to be a dick, but literally like 4 people consecutively did not get a laugh. They didn't get a laugh. And I was like, dude, I have so much respect for these people because they don't fucking care. Like, they just don't care. Well, I'm sure that they do, right? Because if you don't get a laugh, that should be a lesson that you have some shit to work on. Which is what my lesson was, is that I should work on shit, probably by doing it more, but I didn't even take my own advice. I didn't do what I knew I was supposed to do. So, I'm watching these people just bomb. And I'm like, what the fuck is the issue with me, and why can't I just sack the fuck up and go up there and bomb with them? And that really showed me that, man, dude, maybe I fucking do give a shit about what people think about me. And that's so fucking disgusting to even say out loud. But that's just the truth, you know? Maybe I do care. At the end of the day, we're all going to care a little bit, right? And it shouldn't even matter because I don't know any of those fucking people. So why does it matter? And that's probably why they all go up, because they realize that. So what do they got to lose? That was the biggest question I asked myself after that time when I drove away. But I see all 4 of those people bomb, and then like 2 people next, and then it's me. And I still couldn't fucking go up. And I had like a little bit of like a PTSD feeling from the last time I did it, where I forgot my material. So there was all these little things and shit, and it sucked. But anyways, so over the weekend on Sunday, I will occasionally go rewatch comedy. I'll watch Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr or Joe Rogan. And Tom Segura for sure. But every now and then when I feel like I need a laugh, I always just rewatch stand-up special on Sunday. And sure enough, laughing my fucking ass off. And it was great. And I just had like this moment of realization, I guess. I don't know what to call it. And I was like, dude, I need to fucking stop being such a little bitch, put my big boy pants on, and go fucking do it again, dude. And do it right. Write some material or take jokes that I've already written and that I feel like would work. And then, you know, just go fucking do it, man. There's nothing to lose. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows who I am. What do I have to lose? Nothing. So when I was done watching the Dave Chappelle special, I just kind of went through my notes and I was like looking at shit that I could use, and then I took the events of Facebook and I made my own jokes out of that. And dude, it was fucking awesome. I have a joke. I posted it on Instagram, but I have a joke that says, did you guys, I just found out that 47% of the population in San Francisco has chlamydia. And you let them realize what I just said. And then I say, the craziest part about that statistic is that I just made it up, but some of you guys were like, yeah, it sounds about right. And people fucking laughed at it. And that was actually a saver joke that I pulled out because I forgot my next joke, so I used that one. I have them fucking in my brain. But so I think the cool thing about yesterday was that people were getting laughs here and there. Like, no one was going crazy for anybody else, and no one was going crazy for me. But there was this group of friends that were sitting right next to where I was standing when I was up there, and they were there from the start. Like, after probably about 45 minutes was my turn to go. And this group of friends, they were sitting at this table, and as the dude was calling my name up, they got up and they were about to leave. And earlier, what I said about people who are watching that are comics versus people who are watching that are not comics and just there for the comedy, they perceive that material in such a different way. And obviously, by the way, they call us comedians, and that's like, no, we just tell jokes. We're not by title comedians. At least not anybody there that night. But everybody did a great job. But I don't like to call myself a comedian because that's not what I am. I do comedy and I tell jokes, but I don't consider myself a comedian. And I don't want to discredit anybody by saying that, but you become a comedian when you start booking shows. When you start booking shows and when people start buying tickets, that's when you're a comedian. And the greatest comedians of all time will say the same thing, and I've heard them say it on their own podcast. But when they were standing up, I looked at them and I said on the microphone, I was like, "Oh, you guys are leaving? What the fuck? You're going to miss it." Oh, man. That was the first thing I said. I said, "You guys are leaving? You're going to miss it, dude." And they were like, "Okay, we'll stay for you." The girl that was laughing the hardest in the video that I posted on my Instagram at the Juicebox Podcast, she was the one that if she wasn't there, the video probably wouldn't have seemed that lit. She was laughing the hardest, but their group contributed the most out of everybody in the gym. In the gym. I'm thinking of my fucking roommate who just walked by my room. Of anybody in the club or the bar or whatever. And she was just very vocal, and I have never done crowd work ever. And oh, by the way, the sets were 4 minutes, but they let me go for 5 minutes, which is kind of cool. Like, that was like a cool sign to me that I went for 5 minutes, because I guess I just kept going. I don't know. But I was doing crowd work with their friend group, if you saw the video, and it was fucking awesome, man. And I was so glad that I didn't stumble my words. I was so glad that I felt really comfortable, because things that have changed before this set within myself was that I realized that if I just go up there and pretend that I'm recording a podcast, I've done it. I'm doing it now. If I go up there and just be chill, take my time, and just pretend like I'm talking shit on the podcast, then fucking just do that. It is what it is, So that's what I did. I got up there, and one of the most important lessons that I have heard Andrew Schultz say is that you should never be afraid of silence. Use that silence. It's fine. You are controlling that. Use that silence to get your next joke at and get your next thought of what your next joke is going to be. And you tell it when you're ready. And there's like such a fear of silence because you want to just feel like you need to keep the show going. You need to keep it rolling, right? That's at least what I felt. And it was just yesterday. It took me so much. I was debating with myself the entire day because I needed to record the podcast, but then I also really wanted to just do it. I just needed to fucking go do it. So I get home. I spent like my lunch and the time after I got home. I took the day off the gym to really write out my material. And then I had school. And then after school, I'm sitting there and I'm just beating my fucking head in. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And then like 45 minutes before the shit started, I got in my car and I fucking went to it. And then even when I got there, I sat down and I was just like, I can't sign up, dude. I just cannot do it. I cannot do it. And then the dude came around with the sign up sheet, and I was sitting by myself, and I got myself a beer because it was at a bar. It's at the Swinging Door on Monday nights at 9:00. he passed around the sign-in sheet, and he asked me if I was doing it, and everybody turned their head and looked at me. So I was like, so I had to sign up. And I'm wearing a fucking Dave Chappelle mask, bro, you know? But anyways, so yeah, I did it, and I felt fucking amazing after, because it went so fucking well. And I was just so honest with you guys right now about everything that I've done wrong with stand-up comedy, but I'm not bullshitting. That was for sure my favorite set that I've ever done, because it felt so natural, and it felt like the first time I felt like I should be doing that, you know? It was so fucking sick, man. And I'm so fortunate that that group of friends stayed, because they made the last 2.5 minutes just absolutely fly by. Because when you're up there and you're telling your jokes, 5 minutes feels like a fucking eternity, dude. So it was really cool of them. And then afterwards, I got like 2 people complimented me, which was fucking amazing. Like, they were super nice dudes. And then the guy who puts the show on, he's a fucking dude. He's actually funny as fuck, man. This guy roasts people like none other, and I fucking love it, because like no one really gets like offended, you know? I mean, maybe people do, but he seems like the kind of guy that does not give a fuck, and he's gonna just do whatever he wants to do. But before I left, he wasn't in the room. Somebody was doing their set, and he wasn't in the room anymore. So I went outside really quick to just go thank him for letting me do a spot, and then for also just to make sure, confirm the dates, and it's every Monday, right? And he said, yeah, dude, definitely come back. Definitely come back. And that was just like, I don't know. It's so weird, you know? It was just like something just cool. It felt like, because I hadn't done it in almost a year, and he liked it. And I don't know if he was being nice or whatever, but for him to say, you got to come back, that was just like, dude, that's all I need. That's all I need. I just need to stop being a fucking bitch about, or being worried, you know? I have nothing to lose, and those are my own fucking battles that I got to deal with. But it was a blast, and I really hope, and I want to thank everybody that supported the clip that I posted, because it took a lot for me to post that. Because people are judgmental, and I can see how many shares it gets, and you know, I compare the shares sometimes to the likes, even with my clips, and you know, the shares don't match the likes on the video, and it's like, all right, are people talking shit, or what the fuck's going on? But that's just the shittiness of the internet, right? I shouldn't let that influence me. But yeah, it couldn't have gone any better. It just really could not have. It was the most perfect set I've done thus far, and I really look forward to continue doing it, because that was why I started all of this podcast. It was meant for me to have something else that people can come listen to me if they enjoy my comedy. And dude, I want to circle back really quick to the dude that made that compilation video. That was fucking hilarious, dude. Thank you again for that, Sean. And since I'm just on the serious topic of starting the show for that reason, whatever, thank you to everybody who still listens to the podcast. Like, you do not understand. You do not understand what that means to me. It's seriously it's great, dude. It's great. I love having people that just want to joke around and just be a dumbass and listen to a dumbass. And the point of this show is to remove reality a little bit. Whether you're, you know, having a shitty day, or you're just on your way to work and you don't like listening to the radio, because who the fuck listens to the radio? And you want to just like kind of forget what's going on, right? You want to hear somebody else be dumb. And that's why I'm here. I want to be a distracting thing from something shitty going on in your life, or even if everything's good and you just want to fuck around. You want to listen to somebody just talk shit. That's what it's for. And I know occasionally I always kind of have my moments where I talk about some serious shit, but I don't think I've talked about that in depth that much. Maybe sporadically through the episodes, but yeah, that's just the little timeline of when I started comedy, why I stopped, why I started, and then why I stopped again, and then yesterday when I did it. So it's cool. I'm fucking stoked, man. I really am. And I feel I need to believe in myself a little bit more. I just do, because I'm always down on myself. But then that's when you guys come in, and you're always so supportive for the select few of people who always remind me of them enjoying my shit. I fucking love every single one of you guys, for real. And you know who you are. You definitely know who you are. So thank you for that very, very much. It means the fucking world to me. And guys, I'm gonna call it right there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're stuck around, thank you very much. It's gonna be a fucking blast. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, a couple episodes ago, I mentioned that a residency is starting between me, Wham, and Rob. Now, if all goes to plan, it's going to be a 3-man show next week, and I fucking hope everything goes to plan. But we'll see. And it's going to be a blast, dude. We're going to be chilling, talking shit about current events, telling some funny-ass, embarrassing stories about Rob and how he almost hooked up with a hippo. And that's not cap, bro. That's for real, bro. Oh, no. And yeah, just good times, dude, for sure. Crack a couple cold ones. I'm going to have to readjust my room once again. That'll be fun. And yeah, dude, good vibes. Good vibes only, bruh. Hope everybody continues to clap them cheeks. Crush, Bruce, Slam 2s. The OG motto. You know how we do it, cut. Yeah, boy. Get off me. Sucker. Love you guys. Catch you next week. Later.